Oi, oi, truckers and trailer huggers. I'm Big John, and welcome back to the only place where the potholes are deep, the coffee's instant, and the deliveries, well, they're a mystery, wrapped in a riddle, strapped down with a dodgy ratchet. Welcome to Truckstop Tales. Good morning everyone, and I do mean good because the weather's actually behaving today. It's one of those rare British miracles. Bright skies, no rain, and just cool enough that you don't feel like a microwave sausage roll in the cab. Things were looking up. Today's adventurer brings us to the glorious Leeds Bradford area, the land of roundabouts, roadworks and just enough Wi-Fi signal to argue with the office via WhatsApp. We've got 6 drops on the manifest today. 6, because clearly someone in the planning office thinks I'm a cross between Postman Pat and Superman, just with less hair and more bad knees. Anyway, our first drop was booked in for 8 AM, so after a surprisingly peaceful night at the Leeds Bradford truck stop, honestly, not a single fridge unit humming next to me. Must have been a glitch in the matrix. Well, I hit the road at 7:15. Now this drop was only 4 miles away. 4! I could have walked it quicker in flip-flops, but thanks to Leeds traffic, a temporary set of traffic lights and some fella doing 12 miles per hour in a Nissan Micra like he's sightseeing on the M62, it took me 40 minutes to crawl those 4 miles. I've seen glaciers move faster. Anyway, I finally rock up to the drop. It's the right building. It's the right name. Things are looking smooth. I've got 9 pallets, 3.5 tons of what turns out to be clothing and sportswear, lycra leggings, neon shorts and Leeds United shirts. The full catalogue of stuff you'll never catch me wearing. Then I speak to the bloke inside. He knows nothing about any delivery, let alone 9 pallets. So he comes outside, takes one look at the pallets, one look at me and goes, mate, we sell gas appliance spares. Unless these joggers come with a flue pipe, then they ain't ours. Turns out they've only just moved into the building 2 days ago. No idea about the delivery, never heard of the sender, and their entire stockroom is about the size of a decent wardrobe. So there's no way they're squeezing 9 pallets in unless they start stacking them on the toilet and the roof. So now here I am, parked up outside, sat in the cab like a sad lemon in a high vis, waiting for the office to call the shipper, who's calling the seller, who's probably on a beach in Tenerife, sipping sangria, trying to work out how on earth we've delivered clothing gear to a boiler parts depot. Honestly, I couldn't make it up. This job's less logistics and more a live action soap opera with tail lifts and bad coffee. I tell you what, if I had £1 for every drop that went wrong, I could buy a brand new Scania and get it gold plated. But hey, that's trucking for you. One day you're delivering bacon to Birmingham, the next you've got 9 tons of lycra and nowhere to go. And people think this job is just driving. Let's just hope this is the only disaster today. But with my recent luck, I fully expect drop 2 to be a swimming pool full of pineapples headed for a meat factory. So buckle up, grab your brew and join me, Big John, as we wrestle with another unpredictable, slightly ridiculous and occasionally hilarious day in the world of transport. Because out here, on the road, the route might be planned, but the chaos, that's always free delivery. Let's get cracking, and as always, Big John out. Well, still sat here over an hour and a half later, 4 phone calls in, and now the customer decides they want it delivered somewhere completely different. Not even near here, a totally new address out of nowhere. You couldn't make it up. At this point, I'm convinced the customer's lounging on a beach somewhere in the Med, cocktail in hand, just firing off random instructions for a laugh. Meanwhile, I'm parked up like a lemon with 9 pallets of unwanted sportswear and zero clue what's going on. Just another glorious day in the world of trucking, eh? Stay tuned, this is only drop 1. God help us. You really couldn't make it up. After all them phone calls and finally being given the go-ahead to go to a new address and even given the telephone number of the customer, I trundle off down there. Takes me 15 minutes to get here, and the place is locked shut tighter than Fort Knox. Call the customer. Oh, I can't take it till tomorrow. So now I've wasted over 2 hours on this one drop, and they still expect me to get back today. Give over. Well, as you could see, the forklift driver didn't have an absolute clue what he was doing, didn't use his side shift at all, and ended up almost toppling over the pallets. So now, because of that, they're refusing to take the pallets off. I've now got to head all the way towards Halifax to get the load from this morning taken off by another company, and this load reorganised. Absolute joke. We haven't even completed our first drop. Good morning, guys. Well, last night we ended up parked in a cafe car park. Sounded all right at first, until we realised the cafe was shut. So that meant no food, no brew, and the only facilities available, one tiny toilet that looked like it hadn't seen a decent clean since England won the World Cup back in '66. Proper luxury living, that is. Still, the miracle of the night, we actually managed to get all our drops done before parking up. I know, I nearly fainted myself. That never happens, especially after a morning like we had yesterday. Well, so just as I'm winding down, thinking the day's over, I get a call from the office. Head towards Runcorn for a collection. Full trailer load of salt. All right, fair enough. But then, 10 minutes later, I get a message saying my first drop is 7:30 a.m. in Manchester. So hang on, am I doing the collection or heading back to the depot for a reload? Even the sat-nav looked confused. So I do the sensible thing, ring the manager, because clearly the planners are just playing darts with the schedule. Yet again. Manager says, ignore that, do the collection, mate, as instructed. So lovely, off I go to find somewhere to park up, and ended up at the cafe. This morning the weather is amazing, the sun is shining and not a cloud in sight, which is normally the clue that things are about to go pear-shaped. Well, I arrived bang on time at the collection point, back into the shed, and just when I think things are finally going to go smoothly, no. They refuse to load me. Why? Because there's 7 empty pallets still in the trailer. Now, these are stacked and only around 1 metre wide, so barely take up any room. But apparently They can't load the 26 pallets of salt unless the trailer is completely empty. Can't move them, can't stack them, can't even think logically, it seems. All they had to do was stick them on top of the salt after they'd loaded. There's no weight to them, it takes up no room. So now I've just driven all the way back to Manchester. That's 50 minutes just to get 7 pallets taken off. And I'm now heading back to Runcorn, another 50 minutes, to finally get this load of salt. It's only 9 AM and already I feel like I've done a full shift at the circus. Well, let's just hope that that's the last bit of madness today. Although between you and me and the steering wheel, I'm not betting on it. Anyway, I will check in with you later and see you a little further down the road. And we will see how the day's gone. Big John, out. Well, we've finally limped our way back to Felixstowe after the M6 and A14 tried their very best to break both my spirit and my suspension. But here we are, still rolling, still rattling, and somehow still sane. Just about. Now it's time to go and have a lovely hot shower, some dodgy microwave dinner and a bit of shut-eye because the circus starts all over again tomorrow morning. Ain't this life glamorous? If this little adventure gave you a laugh or at least made you feel a little bit better about your own job, don't forget to like, subscribe and most importantly ring that bell so you don't miss a single pothole-filled pallet puzzling episode here on Truckstop Tales. Thanks for riding shotgun with me today. Honestly, you're the real MVPs. I'll catch you next time, probably still lost, late or low on coffee, right here on Truckstop Tales.